Welcome back to the channel. Whoops, I muted the microphone. I'm obviously, it's a random pop-up, and I'm doing the live stream off of my Mac, which is new for me. I'm not used to doing that type of, normally I have it all set up and all that fun stuff. So those of you guys who want to, who are joining, hopefully you're watching this and you guys can let me know if everything is working out, if you guys can see everything properly, and go from there. So let's see how many of you guys will show up. But today it is a pop-up live stream. Basically, it just means that I just decided, you know what, I'm going to do a Q&A. The Q&A for me is kind of important because there's a lot of you who talk about trying to figure out what's, what you want me to say, or how I should. Hold on, I gotta see if I can connect my other mic. There we go. Let's see if I can connect this mic to my lapel mic instead of the computer's mic. I think the computer's mic is pretty good though, so I'm gonna have to check on that. Let's see. The external microphone. There we go. Okay. Hopefully you guys are getting all the goodies. All the sound is coming through properly, so that should be interesting. Okay, so we have this, and I am using the built-in the built-in camera, so it should be interesting. Good news is I have a lot of outside light, so that's good. I don't know how many of you guys will show up, but in the meantime, I'm going to cover a bunch of Q&As, a bunch of questions you guys have asked, and until people start showing up, and then I'm going to kind of go through the whole process of kind of letting you guys know what's been happening with KawaKouple and what's been going on overall with, I guess, just the process of, I guess, KawaKouple, if that's fair. So I know a lot of you guys have questions. I know a lot of you guys have a lot of information as far as like you guys want to know a lot more information about what's been going on. Obviously, you guys have seen that I've been releasing some more Moto Vlogs, which has been, I've been missing the Moto Vlogs. I've been missing doing the Moto Vlogs, and it kind of sucks because both Mrs. K and I wanted to do way more riding than what we're doing, which is really, really important for us. But at the same time, it's also very, I guess you can say, difficult to a certain degree, because it's been just kind of a wonky situation. A lot of things have been going on. I don't know why I have two live things showing up on the channel. So anyway, that being said, I think when it comes to the Moto Vlogs, there's been a lot of things happening. One, I almost feel like I want to say I've lost the drive to really go out and continuously ride. I think that has a little bit to do with just the aspect of the whole pandemic and what's happened during the pandemic. And I kind of got away from just going out there and riding on a regular basis like I normally would. And that being said, it's okay, it's fine, but you guys have had a lot of questions, like, are the Moto Vlogs going to come back? Am I going to just sit down and just keep talking, vlog style, if you will, be it out of my office or whatever? And the Moto Vlogs will come back. There's, as you guys may have seen currently, there's been a lot of, I hate these wires. There's just so many wires right now. I hate the fact that, okay, so I've released a bunch of them. I think like for 2 weeks in a row. Even as of the time I'm recording this, there's a new Moto Vlog that's been released today. And so the Moto Vlogs are definitely a big part of this channel. They just need to I need to get back in a rhythm of writing, and that's awesome. I'm looking forward to it. Now, that being all said, Mrs. K is kind of in the same boat, and we were in the process of starting up, our business. We were in the process of doing a lot of these kind of things where we sit down, we go through the process of figuring out. Starting a business sucks in some ways but it's also a lot of excitement. And it's not like the first business we ever started. It's just this one was very unique in a sense, just because it's so much more media based, which is very unique for. It's a unique perspective. It's a unique take on how you approach it. That being said, now I think some of the questions you guys have had is what's going to happen with the Ninja 650. Obviously, that's a big one. I have a couple of questions here that you guys have been asking quite a bit. So what's going to happen with the Ninja 650? If I'm being totally honest, there's 2 or 3 things that might happen with the 650. One, I might just keep it, or 2, it might go when the new bike arrives. And that's that's going to be a last minute decision. It's kind of like the Ninja 300. When I got the 650, the Ninja 300 was still with me for a long time. But then again, I didn't really ride the Ninja 300, which kind of sucked, right? Like you have this bike and then you just kind of keep it parked the whole time. It's not cool. But Ninja 650 has a special place for me in my heart because it is the bike that I truly I guess I got attached to so much. And it's such a great motorcycle. Like it has I guess for myself, like the upright stance is really, really cool. For those of you guys who don't know, I don't have exactly the healthiest back. So having a more upright bike works. Although I do want something along the lines of being able to just sit down and really lean down and go, have fun, especially on a highway. The Ninja 650 doesn't give you that option to really go into a nice mode where you can just lean in and just kind of have fun with it. And it kind of sucks, but at the same time, with me having the back I do, having the upright position is awesome. So I've mentioned to you guys that there is going to be the possibility of me buying me getting my hands onto the Damon motorcycle. And one of the cool features about the Damon motorcycle is it has the ability for me to just lower the bars, the pegs go back. I highly recommend you guys check out Damon. It's awesome motorcycle, at least from everything I've seen. So I think that's going to be a huge part of my life, like, going into something that makes the most amount of sense. I like to have flexibility. But enough of that. Let's go into another question that's been bugging a lot of you guys, and that is, are Mrs. K and I going to ride together? Are we going to go back to doing some of the original stuff that we did before, going back to the basics, if you will. When we first started out, we were doing a lot of dual vlogs. I love doing dual vlogs. Don't get me wrong. I think there's a place for dual vlogs, and I think we're going to do a lot more once things kind of settle in a little bit. Bad news is right now we're in October, and the weather's kind of getting crappy. Now, that typically has never really scared us. So I guess it's just a matter of finding the time for both of us. We are ridiculously busy overall all the time. So it's very difficult to get to that point where we can just sit down and actually make a vlog. Even if it's for a half an hour or whatever, time is very precious, right? So taking a half an hour, get your stuff ready, get away from your zone. Typically, is something I recommend to all of the, all YouTubers, if you will, all content creators. Never do anything really close to your house. People will eventually catch on to where you live and all that stuff. You don't want people bugging you all the time. On our case, obviously, one of the next questions coming up is, with regards to the office. Now, I have pointed out to all of you that yes, the office is a place where, I guess, as long as we know that you're coming, you're more than welcome to come by our office and just say hi, take some photos, discuss bikes, and more than anything else, do an interview with us if that makes any sense. I'd love to. I think for us, we want to be able to meet with you guys. We want to be able to talk to you guys. And it kind of leads everything into the next question too. Like, there's an awesome question that keeps popping up, and that is why we don't do, like meetups and all those kind of things. I think the short answer is, realistically, we're a small channel, and we're not really getting the views, first of all, to or the subscriber base, if you will, especially in our area, because we're not doing a lot of the stuff that other YouTubers do. We don't, on this channel in itself, I'm not doing a lot of the crazy stuff that a lot of other YouTubers do. And because of that, obviously, it's making it more difficult to to have people kind of jump in and go, hey, you know what? These guys are nuts. They're crazy. Let's watch their channel. A lot of the channels that get the majority of the views are doing a crazy amount of dumb things. And it's okay. There's nothing wrong with doing the dumb things if it's done safely, I guess. But we don't do that. And of course, that because we don't do the crazy stuff, we don't necessarily get the the crazy amount of audience. So that's a big one. We have to we still have standards, and those standards are for us, right? Moving on to the next question. I think this is something that I really, really wanted to address. It comes up a lot, and that is with regards to my knowledge of motorcycles. I get asked so many freaking questions about motorcycles, and I think I've always made it kind of clear. At least I've tried to make it very clear. I am not a motorcycle mechanic. I'm not a motorcycle guru. I am a person who loves riding motorcycles. I enjoy motorcycles. The entire community of motorcycles is, to say the least, incredible. You have so many people that have this either interest in what it's like to ride a motorcycle, or they have a passion for motorcycles in general. And I think that is incredible. By the way, is my live chat on? I'm not even sure if my live chat on. Damn it. Okay, there we go. But I think there's a lot to be said about the motorcycle community at large, and how the motorcycle community views, both the motor vloggers, I guess, in a sense, and how the motorcycle community views the individual motorcycle riders. Truth be told, there's a lot to be said about, riding motorcycles, right? There's a lot to be said about what kind of motorcycles you ride, and everybody has their preference, right? And everybody has their very specific mentality of what is a motorcycle. Is it safe? Is it dangerous? How can you ride it? Should you do this? Should you do that? And I think when it comes to the motorcycle community, it is an impeccable community. I don't know. Ever since the first day I got onto motorcycles, it's been one of my favorite things to kind of both talk about and research and all that fun stuff. And like you guys, I'm also a fan, just like you guys are. The difference is, I guess, is I'm also creating the content, not just watching the content. Next question I have here is, do I watch other motorcycle channels? The answer is absolutely. Let me just kind of answer this one here. There we go. So let's go down to who do I watch? So most of you who are regulars to the channel, and you guys know the channel, I have certain fans as well, right? The people that I respect. And Suburban Delinquent, a great example. Snowcat, another great example. Stand the Moto Man. And these are all people who I've had the pleasure of meeting in person, chatting with them, and I had a chance to actually sit down and talk to them. And that's a huge thing when if you have a content creator that you watch, I guess semi-regularly. I can't say I watch anybody regularly. I don't have the time for that. But for me, yes, I watch other channels, and these other channels are vastly different from me. I mean, if you think about everything Suburban Delinquent does. It's vastly, vastly different from what we do, right? 644 Honda or Snowcat, Stand the Motor Man, Chase on Two Wheels, yeah, Yummy R6. I mean, every one of the ones, everybody has their own style of doing things. And so I watch their content because I truly enjoy the kind of stuff that they come up with. And I also learn a lot from them. Part of being a content creator is learning. It's always learning. There's so much learning involved because it's not just as simple as, you're sitting back and you know everything. We don't know everything. As content creators, there's a lot of things we don't know. And even worse, it's not just that we don't know a lot of things, but there's also a fact of, as technology changes, there's many things that kind of fall into place, right? Where suddenly a lot of the things I wanted to do prior to, when I first started on YouTube, I wasn't able to do it. The tech wasn't necessarily there. Whereas today the tech is there. And that's a huge compliment to the way that the technology is working. So do I watch other YouTubers? The answer is yes. Do I watch them regularly? Not necessarily. Not necessarily at all. But I love interacting with everybody. So it's really cool. I enjoy that. All right, let's move on to the next question. Oh, this one. So I'm kind of randomly picking these questions now, but I figured, again, it's good to understand a lot of the stuff. What makes me want to do YouTube? It's a good question. I think it's a great question, and it has been asked a lot more than most questions, at least a lot more than I thought I would ever get asked that. YouTube is a interesting platform, and it's an expressive platform, right? It allows all of us to express ourselves or our opinions, our beliefs, or whatever it may be. So what got us into YouTube is very different to what makes me continue to do YouTube, I guess. A lot of what we do, I guess, as content creators is expressing our opinions or our thoughts, be it for the good or bad, doesn't matter. And that's what I guess the entire platform is, exactly that. It allows us to express the good, the bad, and ugly, right? It gives us the ability to put out there to the rest of the world and hopefully match what everyone else is thinking, or help with what someone else is looking for when it comes to questions and answers. Ultimately, I think one of the key things with being a content creator, especially like a motovlog content creator, is I always try and show you guys, especially on the motovlogs, I always try and show the fun aspect of the motorcycles. At the same time, there's also a lot. I mean, motorcycles aren't all sunshine and lollipops. There are bad things too, right? There are the abilities to really get injured if you're not careful. There is a big learning curve. But that being said, as a content creator, I keep going because, at least with this channel, I keep going because it's the community. I don't know how else to explain it. It is truly, honestly, the community. And that matters to me. The community coming together and being able to just kind of talk about things and figure out like what I think about this or what someone else thinks about that. And that's what makes this channel so much fun for me. What makes it exciting, what makes it special. And ultimately, that's really why I do and continue to do, KawaKouple. Why I have the other channels, it's kind of a similar scenario where it's not necessarily the community as much as maybe an expression or a thought or a process, or maybe I'm just trying to help out the general public with my life experiences and the things that I have had, I think might be able to help other people. So there is a different reasoning for every channel that I have. But when it comes to KawaKouple, it always comes down to the community. KawaKouple community is the motorcycle community at large, like I said, is amazing. But the community on KawaKouple Okay, granted, it has dropped a little bit, and obviously that's on us, because if we don't, if we're not consistent, it's going to be hard to bring you guys back to us. It's going to be hard to bring you guys in and say, okay, look, keep watching us, right? I know, for example, we've lost massive subscribers because we were not consistent, right? Things came up, things kind of moved to the side, and obviously the whole pandemic thing took a huge blow to our channel, just because we were in a weird position of how we were doing everything. But KawaKouple realistically will stick around. There's just so much content that both my wife and I have kind of ready for you guys. It's just a matter of finding a time to getting out there and actually doing it, because they're all motorcycle related, as in we always have to be on the actual motorcycle. But why we do it? Because we love it. So yeah, there's that. Next question. Okay, Mrs. K. All right, so this is a great question. So obviously I'm the one here. Mrs. K isn't here right now, but this question is awesome. That being asked, whether or not Mrs. K is going to be back on either the live streams or in the videos, or how is this all going to work out? And a lot of you are asking that based on just, I guess, a lot of the vlogs. I've been doing a lot more of the vlogs. Mind you, that's nothing new. Ever since KawaKouple started, I've always done majority of the vlogs, not Mrs. K, right? So during the duo vlogs, she's done a lot of solo vlogs as well. And I've done a lot of solo vlogs. And between her and I, we've done more individual vlogs than we have, I guess, duo vlogs. So what's Mrs. K's future for being on the channel? It's pretty straightforward. It's going to happen regardless of, it's just a question of time, okay? So if we're going to start up setting up like this, more live streams for you guys, she's definitely going to be on a lot of future live streams, unless it's one of those days where she's, I have the time, she doesn't have the time, then I'll obviously do more live streams. But I think ultimately what it comes down to is you guys. And I've said this 1,000 times. You control this channel a lot more than you might think. You as the audience, you really have a lot of control. It's up to you guys how the channel's going to go, what you guys going to watch, what you won't. If I'm going to upload a video and it gets 10 views, or it gets 1,000 views, or it gets 20,000 views, or 30,000 views, that actually does depend heavily on you guys. But that also influences what we're going to do, right? What I'm going to do next. Am I going to bother doing live streams? Am I going to bother making specific types of videos if I see that they're not succeeding? Ultimately, my whole process here is Mrs. K and I want to be able to give you guys content that you might find very interesting. So in order to do that, though, you have to kind of communicate with us. You have to kind of tell us what is it that you want, because we generally have always made everything on this channel, everything around you guys, a lot around you guys. And that's what is really important to know. So yeah, Mrs. K will be back on the channel quite a bit. Hopefully not just behind the scenes, but she'll be back. Okay, let's go with what time. So we're at like 23 minutes. So let's do the last one. Last one being, hold on, I just lost my page. There we go. Last one being, oh, that's a good one actually. Why? People are fun. So why do we change our logo? Why don't we have the same circular logo? SJ, I can't talk. Okay, it's early morning here. SJ, thank you very much for joining the stream. Please feel free to ask any questions you guys have. By the way, I love some of your later videos. I'm sorry we haven't been commenting on them. So with regards to the old logo versus the new logo, well, the old logo was very, very strong as far as like the motorcycle related stuff. And one thing we wanted to stay away from is turning this channel strictly into all moto vlogs and blah, blah, blah. We just don't have the I guess the capability to do all that crazy stuff. So we kind of chilled out a little bit on it. But overall, the new logo is just represents us a little bit more. It's that's really what it is. Honestly, it's that simple. Hard to watch everyone. You're right. It is very hard to watch everybody. Earlier in the stream, I was talking about that, where yes, we watch a ton of different YouTubers, be it motor vloggers or otherwise, but it is very hard to keep up with everybody. And it's a tough thing if, I guess it's a tough thing to kind of maneuver who you watch first or how you put time aside for everybody. SJ says, love what you and Mrs.K are doing with all your channels. Okay, so you've seen some of the other channels. They are all starting up to a certain degree, except for SummonTesla, I think. SummonTesla has been around for a while, but aside from that, every other channel we're kind of experimenting at this moment. We're not really, nothing is set in stone. There are some channels that are not on that list. That's because there are some stuff that we do that are not necessarily, we don't necessarily want to introduce it to you guys. It's not, it doesn't fit under the same category, I guess. Maybe in the future, not now. But yeah, it's a lot of fun to do it. That being said, when it comes to the other channels, which is actually a really good point that you brought that up, because this is I'm gonna make this the last question actually. So the last question was, with regards to all the other channels, a lot of you have kind of pointed out that you hate that. You absolutely hate that there's so many more channels to follow. Why don't I just put everything in one place? Now, this is a very important question, and I'm really want to spend the next few minutes on it. But basically, this is what it comes down to. We have tried this over the past 5 years, 6 years, whatever it's been. We've tried this multiple times. So we took this channel and kind of tried to incorporate some of our other interests, some of the other things that we wanted to bring in. And every single time we did that, the feedback was severely negative. Severely negative, meaning that none of you guys, I don't think there was one person that really wanted anything to do with the other channels. And in fact, like the other topics aside from motorcycles. So it just made sense to separate the channels and you watch whatever you want to watch, right? And I think that's honestly the basic explanation of all that. It really is that simple. It just is. I don't know. No matter how much we tried, bringing content into this channel that has nothing to do with motorcycles, the feedback, and I guess the feedback from you guys, it was just horrific. It wasn't worth for us the time to put so much energy into creating those channels and then bringing it in here. And with the other channels that we started, these ones, especially the current ones, a lot of it is very well thought out. It's just a structure that we're working on right now. And like I said, we have channels way beyond that. We have quite a few. So some of them are really successful. Some of them are not. But it's one of the things I believe in. Everybody should diversify. And I want to talk about a billion different things. The thing is, if you start off making a channel about a certain genre, and if you dedicate deviate from the genre, the people who watch will lose their mind. It's true. And that's a great comment, because that's exactly what happened. In our case, they just completely lost their mind. At one point, we lost, I think somewhere around 35% of our subscribers, literally by trying 1 week worth of different types of videos. And that's a huge number. As soon as we stopped and went back to motorcycles, slowly things kind of leveled out again. And so, yeah, you're right, SJ. It's the way it is. Unfortunately, when you deviate from that original genre, everything goes bad. That being said, I'm going to be doing another live stream today, actually, on my Tesla channel, because I have a bunch of stuff to discuss there. It's not a Q&A, so I'm going to let you guys go. I said it's going to be a 30-minute pop-up live stream, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And if you guys want to see, those of you who are not in the chat right now, by the way, thank you for everybody who is. Those of you guys, if you want to see more of these pop-ups, let me know in the comment section, obviously even after this video, and I will try and do that. Till then, don't forget, love, ride, explore. Thank you everybody for watching. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Ride safe, stay safe. Yeah, that's it. That's all I got. Bye. See you next time. And end.